Hey guys, welcome to What in the World? Steve, I tried to do a goal three combo on you, man. Sonic Boom Chop and then, somersault kick you, but yeah. I hope you're dizzy. Okay, today I'd like to talk to you about the Dragon Lee show. Now, 9 years ago in 2017, when I decided to lift up the mic again, he came and then it was the first time I met him, and then I was his MC. 9 years later, when I decided to pick up the mic again, he's coming at the end of this month, on the 29th, for a dinner cabaret, which Anton taught me. Thank you for enlightening me, Anton. Yeah, I saw him today. Lovely gentleman, my brethren. Yeah, don't see each other much, but on the same frequency, you know what I mean? And that's what you need in life. You sometimes may not see people in a long time, but when you see them, it's still the same because, they are really on the same channel, not just saying it. Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to Dragon Lee. So he's coming on the 29th to do a cabaret show. And then, on I think it's the 30th or 31st, he's going to do the Hurstfield, hall concert. Yeah, which was one of the things that we initially were going to do, but we didn't end up doing it because, we couldn't gather the numbers back in those days because the other promoter was trying to get my mum and myself to do all the legwork, marketing, everything, so forth. Yeah, I know. Authentic, right? Yeah, all my life I've always been the underdog and always been doing stuff for other people and then devaluing myself and shrinking. I get it. But you know what? This time, because I went inward, my mum's friend said, "Oh, your son can be the MC for Dragon Lee again this time. Why not? Call him. I know the TVB manager. So why don't we have Yamcha this Saturday and then we get something going, He can just be the MC for it again. Mum goes, "Son, I need to talk to you. Come meet me at the local bistro and have our weekly special. Eating with mum with the weekly special. Oh, what's special today? Okay, we'll have that one then. So mum goes, shows me the poster of Dragon Lee. I go, "Oh, is he coming back again?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Well, he hasn't earned a very good reputation for a while. But yeah, I'd be happy to work with him again." So she said, "Okay, just let's go Yamcha and Chatswood, and then we'll work it out with him. Go there. This guy is 1 hour late. Yeah, he's the management of TVB Australia. Yeah, he's the one that gets people over. But this time it's interesting for me, because the last time, he was just a freelancer. But this time, I'm really seeing an official TVB guy. So I wanted to experience, how the offers will be and what they're about. But after the Yamchara session, I realized, man, even his balls are being grabbed by TVB, their tentacles have gone overseas to grab his balls, man. I feel sorry for him, man. Yeah, because he had nothing to offer me. It's oh yeah, we can have an MC or not have an MC, man. But you can do the rundown and you can do the whole thing and you be your creative mind and you can send me what you think and we can do a collaboration. Just come out and have some fun. But we can or cannot have an MC. So to me, it's you're trying to do what the freelancer guy has done again because you've actually got nothing to offer. Because TVB doesn't give you anything to offer anyone because you're under the lychee grabbers. Yeah, and you know what? Before that happened, I had in my mind one of my close friends wife was married, and then there was an MC there that got hired, and then that night his brother tried to do a speech for him, and then because there was no lighting because they had it in a darker place at the venue, it was at the Alexandria grounds, so I saw him and I went, "Oh shit, he's in trouble. So I ran up and then put a torch on him so he can read. And then I walked up to him and I went and then Josh looked at me and he went, and I go, "Continue, bro, go." And then Josh did what he did. He finished reading it, and then I walked past the MC. I went, and then he goes, "Oh, I apologize, man. This is actually my job, you know? And then I looked at him, I go, glad you know. And then like, you know, I walked back into like, you know, the main table. But later on, you know, I asked the like, you know, guy that hired him, the main guy, the main character, Mr. Rick Ton. I said, Rick, how much did you hire him for? You know? And then Rick goes, bro, like, you know, I couldn't have got you to do it because you've been taking my whole family out and like, you know, doing the whole thing, which is more valuable. I couldn't tie you out and ask you for that one more favor for at the end with the big bang, you know? And then I go, yeah, so what's the price, son?